Neil Young's working his way up there to be in a real, on the shit list for me and for us. Why don't you break down this conspiracy board here? This is your hero, right? You said that you're a huge Neil Young fan. You said you have all his records. You said that he's a great singer and songwriter.
Oh no, dude! I like Neil Chung. He's a Chinese businessman. Yeah, you got it completely wrong, dude.
Neil, is it just me, or does he look like he enjoys quite a bit of truck stop lizards also?
Oh, man. I'm sure that fool's had like a couple fucking truck stop geckos, if you catch my drift, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about
actually, he had feelings about truck stop geckos. Bro, we'll get to,
That fool looks like he literally just hunts actual lizards at truck stops and cooks them over a campfire. Like.
Cooks them on a skewer, like on a fucking kebab with lizards.
Yeah. So, we got
a fucking motorhome.
Oh, fuck. He's definitely living in, I'm sure, much nicer than a motorhome. So, we got Neil Young. You guys know him. All dozen of you. You know him. If you're under 30, you probably have never fucking heard of this man. Are you guys familiar with Neil Young's music at all? I feel like I'm the only one that kind of is.
Yeah, somewhat.
I feel like I've heard some songs, but
I never liked him like that. I never got into him.
Look at my dick. Yeah. I'm old and weird now. Neil Young, legendary protest rocker with such hits as "The Needle" and "The Damage Done." Curiously, very pro-vax. They're interesting, isn't it?
You'd think that after his experiences with needles, man, he's
not scared of him at all.
Oh yeah, no,
he's like, shoot me up with anything.
Oh fuck,
yeah,
that's yikes for me, dog.
Yeah, he's like, I wanna live, I wanna give booster shots to all the kids.
Jesus Christ,
I'm looking for kids with heart inflammation.
What the fuck is wrong with
you? So anyways, heart inflammation. I'm trying.
I feel you. Explain this motherfucking web trail here, though.
Okay, so
a lot of people are thinking this is a shill corporate move. The shill corporate move, bro. Another move by the. Go ahead and break down the conspiracy board.
Okay, so for anyone that does not know, we talked about this a little bit last week. It's been all over the news. Neil Young, wrote on a carrier pigeon, sent that to an open letter to let everybody know, hey, I'm gonna, Spotify can either have Joe Rogan or they can have Neil Young, but they can't have both. So Spotify said, I bet, and then swiftly removed Neil Young's music. And I believe Neil Young had about 6 million listeners per month compared to Joe Rogan. I think gets 11 million per episode.
Yeah, pretty obvious choice there.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Yeah. So Neil Young, I mean, if you're not familiar with his work, he was really big back in the day. I believe he originally played in the band Buffalo Springfield, who did what's it? Hey, look, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Some fucking old fucking hippie shit.
It's hippie,
bro.
like protest music. And back in the day, these guys were anti-Vietnam War. There's all like the free love movement. They were very pro free speech back then, and supposedly anti-establishment. But man, I've become so fucking disillusioned by all this stuff right now. I'm like, was it ever real? Did these people ever give a fuck, or were they always just chasing clout, chasing a check, chasing whatever this was seen as? Like, oh yeah, we're counterculture, we're cool. But then they're just so fucking ancient and out of touch now. And so you got Neil Young. He gets removed from Spotify, but I think there was some ulterior motives here because Neil Young has had issues with Spotify before. He's a real audiophile, you could say. So he's really obsessed with the audio quality, and everybody knows Spotify audio quality not the best in the world. He's since moved his music to Amazon, which,
it's funny. He's telling people, he's all like, oh, I'm against Joe Rogan because he's doing vaccine misinformation.
Right,
so
correct.
Everybody move on over to Amazon with Jeff Bezos. He's a real nice guy. Right. Amazon's a real great company. I love what they do. They're just totally ethical.
No
and
problem
I'm
with Amazon. No problem with Apple.
All the stuff. Yeah, Apple too. But yeah, so what the fuck? So Blackstone?
Blackstone is like one of the largest private equity firms in the world, I think. Mm-hmm. They have like a they're worth about like $10 trillion. They own just about everything. Just about half the GDP of the United States. So Blackstone is this big private equity firm. They run, finances for a lot of shit. So you can see on the left here, in August 4th, 2020, Blackstone announced his appointment of Jeffrey B. Kindler, former chairman and CEO of Pfizer, as senior advisor. And then we got January 6th, Neil Young sells 50% of his entire song catalog rights to Hipgnosis. And Hipgnosis, I believe they're just they're a publishing house. They've done a lot of like the legendary like album artwork and all this stuff of from the 60s and 70s and stuff. Really big huge catalog of music, but they're owned by Blackstone. It's not to make a direct connection. That's why I kind of put the conspiracy stuff in the background, because it's not a direct connection, but still there's something there, So he sold 50% of his music for $150 million. So this man is, he's got stacks, he's got bricks, he is
bricked up. Yes,
ding, ding, ding.
I didn't say it. And then shortly after that, Neil Young demands that Spotify remove his music over Joe Rogan vaccine misinformation, which you see story after story after story of Joe Rogan having vaccine misinformation on his podcast. Never do they ever actually specify or mention a specific thing. It's just because they don't like Robert Malone, Post Malone, They don't like Dr. Robert Malone. They don't like...
They don't like that
Peter
he's stealing
McCullough.
all the fucking ratings. That's what they really don't. Yeah. It's really obvious that this is all about. They're trying to destroy his. They're trying to destroy his reputation, so that because he's destroying them in ratings. That's all it fucking comes down to.
He's killing. I have no doubt. Yeah, you can see the ratings. I mean, there's Joe Rogan's like way up here. You got Tucker Carlson like way below, and then down and down and down from there. Joe Rogan's eating their lunch, dude. He's dwarfing them. He's making them look like fucking Peter Dinklage. He's making them look like sleepy and dopey and fucking bashful over there. All right.
Oh man, oh man.
So I think there's probably some ulterior motives in this for Neil Young. He's trying to make himself look like a hero, being some anti-establishment guy by shilling for big pharma and for the government, and He's old, he's confused, he's probably just about all there as Joe Biden. And it's really sad because I actually do quite enjoy Neil Young's music. Like, for the most part, not like my favorite of all time, but like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, they were killing. For the day, but...
I just want to say, there's a old saying that I've seen come around through my life, is that it's like, punks are good people pretending to be bad people, and hippies are bad people pretending to be good people.
Ooh, yeah.
And that one punched me in the gut. So I was like, yeah, dude, I've been known that all these fucking 60s and 70s fools are fucking pieces of shit. It's like notorious. They fuck everyone. They fuck each other. They do hella drugs. They fuck each other over financially. Like, it's been a thing, I've sucked. And then sit the fuck down, Grandpa. I said too, I kind of popped off about this, so I'm a little more calm about it. But we're sick of seeing like the celebrities that are our celebrities talk about this shit, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about either. And all they do, it's like, hey, it's your job to act goofy on the camera and then shut the fuck up because you're stupid. And it's like, that's not what I come to you for. I come to you to listen to fucking hippie songs about my dad not loving me. So it's like, I'm sick of like celebrities I like doing this shit. So I don't even really like your music. I'm vaguely familiar with you. The whole 60s movement is full of fucking dirtbags, and it's obvious you're just outing yourself as another one. So again, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
No, exactly, because it almost makes me wonder. I'm like, damn, it's like you never want to meet your heroes, dude. And the heroes that die, young, the 27 Club, it's like, what if, God forbid, what if Jimi Hendrix was 80 now, and then he was just like a crotchety old, just doing this same kind of shit? I'd be like, damn, that sucks. I'm like, just let me preserve this perfect memory of you. But it really just makes you think how much they really rewrite history and rewrite shit to make these guys seem like they're the coolest fucking generation or whatever. It's the boomers pulling a psyop on the younger generation to be like, oh yeah, we're the boomers, but we were cool, we were the hippies, we were the counterculture. It's like, what do you mean to tell me that the people of the free love movement and, tune out, drop out, all that shit? It's like, what? You mean they dosed people with drugs and sexually assaulted people and like did shit with minors. No fucking way. I thought they were really on top of their shit. I thought they were on top of their game.
Well, dude, straight up. I mean, I was even saying too that the counterculture, like that whole vibe, that whole like mythology, and I'll call it mythology at this point because it is. It's been romanticized. There's this idea that back then they were doing something so noble, and everybody who was a part of it was brave and daring. And I'll say back then it was probably crazier for sure. Because things were a lot more just straight and narrow. But they have weaponized that kind of idea and that fantasy, and they want everybody to be like, this is it again, and be a part of it. You can be a part of history, you can be a part of, let it be known that when they look back at this 50 years, you were doing the right thing, and it's just frustrating to me because it's like, I don't know. It's weird. They were just trying to evoke all that shit, and it's hella obviously manipulation. Yeah. But
I think this guy's just he gets the award for like oldest clout chaser alive currently. I think
it's definitely
because they just stick their fucking finger up their ass and to see which way the wind is blowing, whatever's popular.
You guys don't.
A couple. Not unless it's a medical emergency. But what was it? Neil Young a couple of years ago released this whole anti-Monsanto album too. Like he's like going off on Monsanto, as you would expect from like these classic, liberal types, hippie kind of types. Because essentially what Monsanto is doing is, trying to fuck up your food, genetically modifying it. But what's the whole point of genetically modifying the crops is to prevent crop diseases. So they're trying to do that, and he's like, no, that's not good. I can't have my plants be genetically modified. I feel so strongly about this. I'm going to write a whole album about it. But then a couple of years later, they're essentially trying to Monsanto every single fucking man, woman, and child in America. And, they're basically doing the same thing, right? It's all just, we got to genetically modify you now to prevent disease. And he's like, well, that's fine because I'm old and I'm scared. And that's fine to be if you're old and you're scared to die and you're in bad health. And then, you got Joni Mitchell adding on top of this. And I'm like, God damn it, because I also love Joni Mitchell's music. Like, I know you guys aren't like super familiar, but I'm like, dude, I mean, she's like one of the greatest singer-songwriters of our time, to be honest. Like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, is Joni Mitchell even like cognizant? Like she had a brain aneurysm not that long ago. And I get it. Like she's old and she's scared. And it's like, but you know what? I don't, not to sound fucking callous as shit, but it's like, guess what? Joni Mitchell smoked fucking cigarettes for 50 years because it's cool, and then it's like, oh no, a respiratory illness. What could I have possibly done to maybe make myself better off in this scenario?
Yeah, I mean, look at Neil. He looks like shit, dude. Yeah. He always looked like shit, but fuck, bro. Yeah. I can't imagine he's doing too hot. He doesn't look like he's got much left in him, bro, to be honest with you. Like,
take it from me, that's what whites look like when they forget to wear sunscreen. Too long.
I feel it, dude. And then it looks like he didn't wear sunscreen or H screen either, bro, because, man, I know those fucking hippies, they dropped away the fuck out. But
even Neil Young's bandmates have had some pretty shitty things to say about him. David Crosby basically he's like Neil Young's like the most selfish motherfucker I ever met. Basically, only cares about Neil, and I believe it. And he was, he's chasing the check back then.
Well, I hope Neil Young can remember that a Southern man don't need him around.
Hell yeah,
anyhow,
dude. Skinnered all day.
Fuck you, Neil Young.
It's sad because I'm like, but okay. What I will give Neil props for, even though this whole thing's blown out of proportion now, is that Neil didn't actually say that he wants to censor Joe Rogan. He said, I don't agree with Joe Rogan. I don't want to be on the same platform as Joe Rogan. And then you got,
taken
off. So if that's all it is, I'm like, hey. And he's also like, anyways, go to neilyoungarchive.com to get my full uncompressed wave files where you can hear me fucking jerking off in the background on the fucking, this never before released recording.
It does seem like it kind of does seem like a last second CloutChase, bro, trying to probably build up the estate, before he kicks the bucket.
Yeah.
Like,
and I get it. For your kids or for whatever, like I get it.
Bob Dylan just did. He just sold his whole fucking catalog for like, I think it was like 60 mil or something like that, bro. He made bank. But let's see here. This old hippie.
Yeah,
fuck.
we got some more.
Let's see what else we got going on.
A couple more Neil Young things.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so we got Michael Rechtenwald, Twitter guy. He said Neil Young sold 50% interest in his musical catalog to Hipgnosis, which is a $1 billion company which is owned by Blackstone. Blackstone just announced the newest senior advisor is the CEO of Pfizer. So, not that there's a direct connection to Neil there, and
as much as there's not a direct connection, that is an insane direct connection. That is a too massive of a direct connection to ignore.
Yeah.
Because it's just whispers. They can do this shit hella easily, bro. What do you think Inception was about? Inception, that's that kind of shit where it's like, oh, they've had these things like in movies or whatever, but it's like Inception, it's about like setting the ideas in motion, right. And making shit happen like through these subtle ways and shit. And it's like, I bet, someone told someone to whisper in Neil's fucking ear, and obviously, all the campaigns and shit.
I think it was his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Daryl Hannah.
Well, his fucking, what's it called? His managers and shit. Rough. His managers and shit too probably fucking asked their higher ups and were like, do it. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, I doubt they just let this old fuck make this decision on his own, And
then they asked Joni Mitchell and she's like, oh, I just want to be alone with my paints. She's like, sure, I don't care. Like she's ancient. I saw like a thing. It was like a big like tribute to Joni Mitchell really recently, and she was, she's just like sitting there in the background while it's like Norah Jones and a bunch of other people, covering Joni Mitchell tunes, and she looked out of it, bro. Like she's on her way out. It's just unfortunate, but it's like.
Well, what's even more obvious though that makes that connection here is the fucking
good old Tedros.
We're getting a lot of odd shout outs that are out of place. For this, it's kind of gotten bigger. We're even saying it like we don't even think Neil Young realized that this would be this big a deal.
No,
I don't think so either. He probably just tried to make the ultimatum and then say, "Oh, I'm gonna walk away" or whatever.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to get boomers to just buy a vinyl, box set one more time.
Probably, honestly,
that's really what it is.
Yeah, seems like it.
But then we got the fucking what's his face from the WHO,
Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the WHO, bro.
Yeah. This is the fucking not the CEO, whatever you call him, the chairman, the head lead, whatever. So he said, Neil Young, thanks for standing up against misinformation and inaccuracies around COVID-19 vaccination. Public and private sector, in particular, # social media platforms, media individuals. We all have a role to play to end this pandemic and infodemic.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. Like I read that before, in my head before you read it out loud, and the whole time it was just in like a lolly anime voice.
You want to demonstrate that for us?
I don't think I can pull it off. I was trying to figure it out, but
you got it.
Thanks for standing up against misinformation and inaccuracies around COVID-19. Ooh, woo.
Thank you so much, Neil Young.
Sorry. We love Asians.
Man. Yeah, so it's just weird. Want to get a special shout out from the WHO. That's not going to make anybody scratch their heads at all,
Yeah, I think we got something from
Let's see.
Who's the old
Oh yeah. Here we go, buddy.
Final little bit on Neil Young.
This is what Neil Young feels about.
Yeah, he's
go
like,
ahead and take it
you
away.
see a F word behind the cash register.
Don't let them
trust them with your potatoes.
Impeccable impression.
Yeah. Oh man, take a look at my cock. It looks old and weird.
Yeah, you gotta pull that one again.
It's been all day.
Someone to suck me the whole night through.
Oh god.
Dickless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, so we got another Daily Wire. Oh my God, we're so biased today, bro. 2 Daily Wires and the fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Whatever show we do.
Might as well start putting yarmulkes on. Let's go. For the clout, which is relevant for their next story too.
I was gonna say it is relevant for the next
I think
story
I had some
too.
stuff. So Neil Young's 85 comments resurface about what he said about AIDS. So what did he say about the last major pandemic? He said comments made by Neil Young on the subject of homosexuals and the AIDS epidemic have resurfaced following the musician's controversial spat with Spotify and podcast host Joe Rogan.
Why'd you say it like that?
What?
Homosexuals.
Homosexual. He's one of them newfangled homosexuals.
Listen, I'm trying to avoid the the algorithms. You gotta throw them off with weird pronunciations of shit.
Right.
You gotta throw off the AI overlords.
Right.
So he had a controversial spat with Spotify, which you can actually catch AIDS if someone controversially spats on you, and then they handle your food. So in an interview with Melody Maker in 1985, Neil Young backed Reagan's gun control policies. Interesting.
Hell no, bro. Hey, and those gun control policies are notoriously racist because they were targeting the Black Panthers.
All gun control is racist.
All gun control is racist. I do agree, but those ones in particular that fucking Ronald Reagan wrote were specifically about the Black Panthers because they walked into the Capitol with guns.
That's
Continue.
Right. So Neil Young backed Reagan's gun control policies and said of AIDS, you go to a supermarket and you see behind the cash register, you don't want them to handle your potatoes. Man. So,
potato AIDS.
Right.
It was a different time.
So
Different time.
he hasn't really changed much since 1985. In the same way that they scapegoat the gays back in the 80s to blame them for all of the AIDS. Which maybe there's some there. But no, I'm not. But this is what happened in the 80s, right? They're like, oh, it's all these fucking gay people, and then they're giving everybody the AIDS. Get away from me, Magic Johnson or whatever.
It's funny because Magic Johnson was earlier in the thing too, so it all ties together.
So weird. That he's named Magic Johnson and he has AIDS.
Dude,
I'll never get over it,
dude. But needless to say, Young almost certainly regrets that horrific statement. Now quickly moved away from right-wing politics. Rolling Stone added, he wrote an anti-furious GHW "Rockin' in the Free World" in 1989, and was one of JW's. George J.W. What about George J.W., bro? But he's a Jehovah's Witness, bro. George
What
W.
about
Bush.
George Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Wait, what's that from? That's a song, right?
Jacob
His name is my name too. Hey,
Was
classic.
that like a deep memory unlock right
Yeah,
there?
yeah, majorly.
It's actually John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah,
not
that's
George,
a real kosher song.
So he made up for it by putting on rocking in the free world. Rocking in the free world.
So it doesn't make up for that though. You say fucking the gays are causing AIDS and the blacks can't have guns. Like you don't get to come back from that, you motherfucker. Like fuck you ain't real. Like cause fucking fuck George H.W. and fuck George W. Real fucking hot take, motherfucker.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah. So he's blaming the unvaxxed in the same way that he was blaming the gays back in the 80s. So the unvaxxed are as Tom Segura would say, just like the gays, discriminated just as much. No,
hey, solidarity with the gays,
that's
bro.
right. That's right. But people got AIDS because they shot too many things in their arms. But people who don't want to get the vaccine won't shoot anything.
It's funny
in their
from
arms.
this H-mob veteran too, saying that gays are causing AIDS. How many dirty needles do you think this motherfucker shared with his little hippie
Probably a
buddies in
couple.
fucking San Francisco,
Probably
bro?
a
Fuck
few.
this fool.
Yeah. Talk about hate and Ashbury, dude.
Oh my god. Talk about H and Ashbury, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Talk about Ashbury, more like buried in your ass.
Fuck.
Sorry.
All right. All right. So fucking, we got these old fucks need to go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Let's see who else here. We think we got one more here. Oh
we got a little.
Oh my god.
So yeah, if you guys want to watch Joe Rogan's whole statement he made about the Neil Young thing, I mean, he did like a whole 10-minute thing. I thought it was very reasonable. He's like, hey, I'll make sure to have people with all sorts of viewpoints, which I don't even think he really has to apologize that much because it's like, dude, he had Sanjay Gupta on. He had a bunch of people on both sides of this debate.
Here's the thing. I'll say when he had Sanjay Gupta on, that was good because it shows that actually, he's like, that shows that Joe Rogan will straight up be like, I'm not your enemy. Come talk to me,
No, exactly.
He's like, you guys are saying all these things about me. Let's have a talk, And Neil Young's way too fucking pussy to do that. He would, dude, we were even saying Joe Rogan would probably love to have Neil Young on the show talking about hippie shit and talking about, music and talking about, how things have changed instead of just being like, you're a liar and you're spreading misinformation and you're causing problems.
It's like 1v1 me then.
Yeah, exactly. 1v1 me, you fucking pussy.
Come and spread your good information then.
Yeah, come drop these.
What do you got?
What do you know that I don't know? Come tell me.
People are like, I trust the science, and also like old fucking hippies that yell at fucking
and Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
we're going off about Stephen Colbert.
Oh man,
fuck that fool.
But this is
oh my god, this fool too.
All kinds of opinions. Which sounds great, but not all opinions are created equal. You think about major...
This guy looks like a flamboyant George Costanza.
And operations that work hard on verifying information on COVID-19. And then you have talk show stars like Joe Rogan who just wing it, who make it up as they go along. And because figures like Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms, we have a problem that's much bigger than Spotify, much bigger than any single platform, Kate. But that's what is the heart of this right now.
Yeah, but you're right. It is getting at something bigger that isn't going to be solved in one Joe Rogan video or one statement from Spotify. That's for sure. It's good to see you, Brian. Thank you so much.
CNN is they're shaking in their boots right now.
It's clear it's fear, bro. I mean, I've studied history, whatever, but dude, the smear campaign is a classic technique, tried and true, bro. Like, and Me Too is also another smear technique. So we're even saying, we're like, I hope fucking Joe Rogan's getting bet. Like, hope he's beefing up his security or something. Yeah, so I feel like some crazy might try to run up on him, honestly, at some point. And like, I see it, being potential for that. And if that happens, that'd be a sad fucking day if something happened to him, bro.
He starts getting swatted too.
Yeah, if he starts getting swatted or if he gets fucking attacked.
He's pretty well protected. He's got like crazy security at his place.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But like, Lord forbid, anything happens to him, because I mean, he's a really important kind of figure in what's going on and everything right now, because it does the fact that it's like a kind of uncut conversation, just fucking
right.
It leaves less room for it pokes more holes, it leaves more room for interpretation, which they don't like.
Right. And it's like they try to go after Joe Rogan, but it's really the guests that he has on that they have the problem with.
That's exactly it. He, because he's not saying a bunch of shit. The only thing he said about Rona was, I got Rona, here's what I did.
Yeah. And he was being straight up about what he took and what methods he used to.
And it's like, make no mistake, he did the rich people method. You know what I mean? Make no mistake, of course he did. He's fucking rich. He's just going to fucking smack that thing. We were even saying this too, because a bunch of
the stuff he did doesn't even cost that much.
A bunch of my coworkers were talking, got Rona right now recently. A bunch of my coworkers got Rona. And one of
vaccinated?
Yes, actually, a bunch of them are. But that's not the point I'm about to make. The point I'm about to make is one of my buddies came back and he's like, yeah, bro, I said, fuck that shit, bro. I was pounding my body with fucking iron, juice, vitamins, water, fucking taking steams, sleeping. Like, he's like, I was saying, fuck that. And for like 2-3 days, I made sure just to pound my body with hella fucking, vitamins and antibiotics and medicine and shit. And he's like, and I felt better faster. And I was like, that's what you have to do when you get sick anyways. And it's like, why would, like, the conversation I've said, nothing stops COVID. And it's like, you have to just try. You have to try to be able to know how to make your body better if it does happen,
right. And nothing does stop COVID. I mean, well, in a sense, nothing stops
at this
COVID
point, no.
Because people are all going to get it. And I think the sooner we realize that it's just going to run its course through the population, the better. Like, everyone's going to get the Omicron.
Being
or
bricked up stops COVID.
That's right.
Being
That's
bricked
right.
up. Get the Omicron, bro.
Well, that's right. We were just talking about how Viagra stops COVID. Or
yeah.
It can help with COVID. So,
Yeah, it can help.
There you
COVID.
go.
Yes,
Open up
yes.
blood vessels.
Let's see what else here too. I think we got other people jumping on the bandwagon. It's a bandwagon too. It's a clout bandwagon because Alvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Nice. Gay old witch throwing her gay old witch hat in the ring.
She's not even my favorite horror babe. I'm not gonna lie. I like what's it called? What's her name? Motherfucking from Hellraiser, the chick who plays Kirsten from Hellraiser. That's my favorite horror chick. She's fucking fine. Anyways, yeah, I stand with musician and artist, not with quacks and hacks. This cause is close to my heart. Please sign. And then hit the next panel too. We got the rest of her statement here. Regarding fans who leaving me because they prefer disinformation over truth. All I can say is it's time to clean house and separate the clash from the trash. Bye-bye. For the people who call this censorship, would it be okay if I had a podcast inviting experts to encourage people to drive drunk if I crash and kill myself? Big deal. It's my problem. How about the people you kill or injure in the other car? Do they matter at all to you? I don't think the comparison is a one-to-one, to be honest with you. I hate that argument.
Yeah.
But also, too, again, Alvira, who gives a fuck about you? Like, who gives a fuck? I love horror movies, and I don't give a fuck about you, dude. Like, sit the fuck down with your money, all of you. I've said this. I'm tired of you celebrities mouthing the fuck off, dude. I'm sure you're living real comfortably, and, this is how they get their kicks, bro, because they don't do anything. They don't do anything productive anymore.
What fans does she actually have that just don't beat off to her.
Well, she fucking
like
she came out as lesbian a while back, and a bunch of people were like, God damn it, I'm not gonna get to fuck Alvira.
Right.
And it's like
as if you had a chance.
Yeah, right. Fucking I even said, I'm like, Alvira, your tits aren't that big, they're just out. Okay,
True.
you're not that hot, you're just the only goth bitch at the time. So I'm coming. Yeah, so it's just everybody's hopping on the bandwagon. It's a fucking bandwagon. It's a boomer bandwagon. And let me tell you, that shit probably smells bad and is probably stacked with Viagra.